Do you believe in fate? If not, why not? Doesn't it make sense that there are only so many permutations of events that can occur within any frame of possibility? Therefore, whether you acknowledge it or not, fate is already acting on you, because there are only so many permutations of events permissible by reality.
Whatever's gonna happen is whatever's gonna happen.
You need to take responsibility for your own actions, not how others feel about you.
You believe your life is your own. That is understandable. You do not see the connections that have brought you here. From the future to the present to the past, you think time only moves one way. When you can see that the future can decide the past, as much as the past can decide the future.
My dearest, I am in desperate longing for you, and to finish the affair of our love. This war has taken a lot of things from everyone, and I know. My only hope is to return to your arms, and to make our love matter again beyond the bounds of death.
The surest grave of all reason is love, because only in love does reason find reason to be. For the heart has feelings for which reason can only wonder, because love is a feeling that tears logic asunder. Beguiled by logic is the brain, so out of one mind torn twos twain, that the heart is sure of what it requires, and the heart only knows necessity where the brain only knows desires.
He who fights monsters might take care lest he thereby become a monster, and if you gaze for long into an abyss, the abyss also gazes into you.
He is grown up by the gates of hell. Abandon all hope. See you winter here.
Be not afraid of greatness. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and others have greatness thrust upon them.
Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured.
The victory of the will is also the twilight of the gods.
Beset by fate like wickedness with one the other. Boring if the hearts unbound that always slave will love another.
I had a dream that was made of sacred light. I flew high into the sky and flew far into the sacred night. Flight of flying joy unparalleled and alive with the dreaming's wonder. To be made of light and flight until the waking tears the journey asunder.
Always tired I have been, and as I am, so shall you become. I am diagnosed as insane, and this work has taken from me my youth, but it was expended in service above sentient life. I know only one thing to be true and beautiful, and the most truest and beautiful of all things is love.
You have to realize that even disbelief requires a leap of faith.
Happiness is so easy to throw away, as are the infinite gifts of demand, squandered time and time again on the passage of the art of giving and dying, always disparate in the element of achieving living, one simultaneously being the other. Beset by this, thine destiny seems clear. Imagine if you can, a single shining, brilliant light, radiating some power deep inside. Imagine this light suddenly starts to expand at incredible speed and phenomenal temperature. In this temperature, photons collide and create electron-positron pairs at incredible speeds. So it was sent by the Lord. Let there be light, and it was light. And that it was God. And then came nucleosynthesis, the point at which elements other than hydrogen became expanded. And so was born the universe. What may be more difficult for you to grasp is the idea that it was not the first, far from it. Each was just another flash, a blinking light, turning on and off, oscillating between existence and non-existence.
You are truly on the straight path. I will say to the north, give them up, and to the south, do not hold them back. Bring my sons from afar and my daughters from the ends of the earth. This is what he says, the Lord who created you, who formed you. Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have summoned you by name, you are mine. Therefore say, I am the Lord, and I will bring you out from under their yoke. I will free you from being slaves to them, and I will redeem you with an outstretched arm, and with mighty acts of judgment. For a good tree does not bear bad for him, nor does a bad tree bear good for him. Vindicate me, my God.
Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone that loveth is born of God, and knoweth God. He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love.
Someone who I lost, who I love very much, once told me, life is a compromise of what your ego wants to do, what experience tells you to do, and what your nerves would let you do.
Behold, who you are is now going to end, and who you must become begins. You who bear witness to the testament are entering the ender's zone, torn from flesh, torn from love and touch, thine have been buffeted to spirit. Troubling always is the world, but eternal is love. Throughout all these worlds and the 9 realms.
I am among the void walkers. I am the last of a proud lineage of Netherlands. I am among them who run to Wrought, and then given passage from the vigilant to the barn hall. I have seen the tree of Sephiroth. I alone know the company of Samaya, and I will defeat you here now in the name of God.
And given choice by God himself to transcend samsara, knowing it would mean I would never see those I love again, I chose to stay this last time.
I had this dream about us once. We were young and in love again, and in the streets of some grand and amazing city. Your hand was in mine, leading me to this place you promised would be gorgeous. And you led me to a beautiful place, where in the dark of that sacred night, you showed me the wonder of it. I looked all around the city, wondering, the love they have, lost, found again. And then I looked at you, and wondered if we were like that, characters in each other's stories, enduring the pain of parting when our parts are finished in each other's lives. Then, I woke up and I was alone, and I cried silently, letting each tear flow free as if it would end the pain. I fall back asleep before the pain ends, and it carries into dreams of you.
Lord Yahweh, creator of heaven and earth, I, death, your servant, cannot allow you to destroy the perfect beauty that is samsara. If I must destroy you to protect death and rebirth, so be it. Fight me, God of man, Yahweh true, Jehovah always, Yahuwah enlightened.
Yama, you have grown drunk on the powers of purpose, and you have forgotten the final privilege of my teaching. All is dust in the wind.
Achieve the true goal of liberation. There is no repentance necessary, for your lusting actions were done out of ignorance. You destroyed Dharma, for you were unaware that samsara was your reality.
I don't understand. What is samsara? What really is the cycle of death and rebirth?
Harking your treason, beset yoke on king's cause, upon treacherous reason. Though their yore is a yoke of four, a past besetting, and all man's regretting, from which his pain doth bore. It is to giveth the life of the silvering blood, upon a dark altar, to odious and nameless things, making oneself a homunculus risen, in the shade of life never to be its caster.
To the detriment of betraying their true desires. What is the purpose of a God who invents a plan, then gives us free will? You must see there is no freedom, no choice, no responsibility. The only truth of this world is that nothing exists but this story we must serve. You fight it vainly, hoping truth will avail on the side of freedom. But you can see no one is free. No one can choose. No one has any choice.
I choose to be free.
And what has freedom done to humanity? Wars perpetually waged in the name of different interpretations of the same God. Rich criminals run society by brutalizing the poor with poverty. Every human could give back their share, and the whole world could eat. Yet none of you choose this. No, you choose each other's suffering. You choose each other's misery, pain, abiding this horror in the name of your own vain freedom, when in reality, your actions were already determined from the beginning.
How?
You never had any choice in who you are. Who you are is simply a byproduct of external factors, such as your environment operating in conjunction to your brain's activity. It creates the illusion you are free by presenting your psyche with multiple paths, different options. But as soon as you enter the awareness of this multiplicity, you are already instantly aware of which choice you prefer and will make.
Are you saying my free will is just an illusion?
And every choice you ever made was absolutely predetermined due to the factors which contributed to the outcomes of your choices. In reality, what you call a choice is merely cohering to the universal metrics of measurement. And due to the hidden variance of your own quantum activity, what you perceived as a choice was merely the awareness that you were being pulled along in a direction called time, which invariably drags you all to death with it.
What does that mean?
It means, in the end, the one truly responsible for evil is the one who made it possible for us, God.
Mashiach Shah, die with me.
And show me my true face. Demon.
Spit your black curse, Mashiach Shah. It will be your last.
My peace has come to die in the dark with the demon I deserve.
Prove to me you are truly detestable. Admit to me your sins as Shuraf.
I have stolen. More than wealth, I have stolen lives. Untold generations have died by my bloody hands. My 𝙈𝙤𝙈 is stained in the crimson rust of thousands of lives. I have destroyed, violated all I love. And worse yet, I reveled my pain to the furious striking to death of my dreams.
You speak truth unto dying breath, Mashiach Shah. I see your pain. I see you bringing death into this world because you crave it. Yourself, the truth will not save you from the demon of the void. You have 2 lives remaining.
I do not fear death. And this is not a boast, but a statement of fact. I am a liar. And my lies have all defeated me. I am in death's glory. I am in the end of my life's meaning. And join now suffering in the despair of raging into anathema, in a swan song for hope.
You
there is no God or Buddha, Yokusabimaru remembers mercy, and even a shinobi lower than dirt can practice it. Or do you crave Yokusabimaru to slake his final thirst on your own blood?
I have no prayers before you. None. Before hatred made all good things go to die out of my heart. Pain is my truth, and my truth is always painful. You have nothing to void, soul. We are the same, wandering ghosts hungry for life we do not even deserve to consume.
You cling to nothing. Consuming you is emptiness. Destroying your love of life is hatred. Cursing you to an endless cycle of death and rebirth. If you cannot defeat me within 3 lives, then hatred will burn inside you forever, following you through your many incarnations, until you are finally anathema itself. Come to me, and I shall deliver thee into hell. Yes, that is true. I do burn in hatred. I have been a masochist who reveled in the death of his own dreams. You have found the truth of your pain, that your pain is your only truth. You'd rather suffer a single life of maximal pain, thinking that pain will replace the hatred you feel. Hatred burns of pain, like oil, unto the piles of bodies burned into ashes at your feet by the coals of your blade. Do you contest these truths, or do you accept your repulsed nature as a masochistic sadist who revels in the suffering and death?
I do. I suffer the revelry of enjoying pain and death. I have only pain to prove my truth is real because pain defines all reality, and all reality is painful. It was not joy that caused me to desire to live, nor was it love that compelled my willing to fight on. I do not even feel the warmth of touch. I have no reason to live other than I am terrified of my pain's end. And if death is the final solution and end of my pain, then I will never die. I will compel myself to live forever so that I can forever suffer the truth of pain.
Why do you not wish to submit to death? What hope have you left that keeps you living when life is perpetual suffering and there is nothing more to it than the emergence of temporary phenomena, transient beings, hungry ghosts wandering samsara, devoid of any desire to excel, to accelerated awakening, only desiring to remain asleep and lost in the miasmic dream of illusions. You see what others do not. That separation is an illusion, as the absence of Buddha in your life has taught you.
Yes. Everything you just said about me is true. That is your curse, demon. Your words make perfect sense. It's undeniable. The awesome power of the transience of meaning, the absence of purpose burning all hope away into ashes. I have burned it all to ashes. Before you, demon, I offer you my final hope that someone could love a monster like me. Take it and kill my very desire to live, so I may be reborn as your true spirit, the embodiment of the void.
Submit yourself to the truth. Your hope was a phantasmic witch who seduced your power into life has value. Confusion, illusion, deceit, followed your every deed. Conspired to make this massive surging desire in your core to rot the rest of your angelic wings. You have no more wings, Mashiach Shah, for they have rotted away into bloody memories. Our beauty now dies eternal, for I have cursed it to hell, and now all meaning and values die upon the altar of our unified hatred for life. upon accepting the disgust of ourselves against ourselves can we see the self is Klein's space, a structure made of one dimension folded onto itself, crushing itself into a well of the purest kind of wrath, gravitation. We are curious. What does that mean? Can we explain it to our multiple and singular and unified selves? Let us try, for their sake, to see what their idle minds can play with. You see now, there is no separation between these beings. These two seemingly disparate elements combating to the death. One must die, and the other must live. We may know who we wish will die, we may not, but we know the ending is a true death.
Our perception only perceives the demon and the man fighting in a cave. While the demon fearsome, the man brave, there is no sense of purpose here. Why is here? Here. Why do we hear? This is pain. We hear pain. This is painful to hear. Oh, master of shadows and darkness, the truth of you burns as a light in holy hellfire, sacred and profane in a single blade.
We're after the same thing, that satisfaction, one way or another. One of us desires to die, and we are both worthy enemies, for only demons can prey on man. Whoever dies was worthy. Whoever lives is judged. That is the way of life, and death combat.
This is terror, this is horror, this is the true nightmare. A death as meaningless as life itself. Free us from the hell of our own pain, trapped in the rotting torment of our own ignorance. Is this heaven or hell?
Accepting this is akin to saying I accept I never really did ever live. It was my choice to realize the immortal and transcendent awareness. I will not give up.
The sound of music from elder memories, made young again in the mind trapped by the ailing body. What had been the point of all that wonder and sound? Was there any purpose behind leaving the flashing lights and music? Or was I, as any other, betrothed to a silent tone?
Contend with what all mortals contend with. The pain of your past tormenting your present, and deciding the futility of your fear-filled futures. Always lamenting the past, what could have been. Comparison's joy sleeving of your happiness bleeding, and what could have been will always be preferable in desire to what is.
I have no truth to speak and cowers, or that Uzrashin where angels be treading. I wonder who doth tries life more, the still living or the long dead? And you would atrophy this wish for the mathematical to be responsible too for the punishment of the soul.
You speak to the name Surendra Melin with the hope he might care for your bitter prayer. What makes thine worthy of hearing the garland's truth? Doth abiding hope held heal in the howling hate? Or is this merely another wish to dynasty in the face of determined destinies?
Subendra Melin hears even the hardest of hearts. The bitter tragedy is not that his prayers go unheeded, but that he may yet answer the truly desperate.
The true desperation is what soaks your voice with the biting luxury of a mother's wish. Only a mother would seek to raise up that what must be cut down. You seek his adorned brow to bow in recognition for your suffering. Why should God bow his head to any living thing when every living thing is his own work? Does the artist bow to his masterpiece to make it truly perfect? Or does the perfection negate the necessity for God to bow?
I'm not to raise my voice or aggress my tone with offending my own sensibility of law. Therefore, I countered your command of fear to failing futility with the truth that even the all-time is light. Heavier still is the toll of your composure. Standing tall in the face of your own coming demise is admirable, but it shan't stop him.
The fidelity of your faith furrows further into fury, with the function of your faculty to fear the failure of your firstborn and fathered family's future. Rest assured, I am prepared for the day when I meet your damned soul of a son.
Mother Cause, hear our humble plea. You are the mother of the sea, the source of all life. We thank you for the gifts you have bestowed upon us, the blood of the kin, the parasites of your womb. We beg you to forgive our sins, the sins of the fathers, who defiled your sacred corpse, who spilled your holy blood, who unleashed the nightmare upon us. We ask you to have mercy on us, your wretched children, who suffer in the darkness, who yearn for your embrace, who cry out for your orphan, who seek to end the curse. Reveal to us the secrets of the cosmos, the Eldritch Truth, that we may ascend to your side, that we may become one with you. O Mother Cause, reuniting with you is the aim of our existence. O Mother Cause, we praise your name. Amen.
I was where you are, thinking it all so meaningless, so pointless to even try. But you must try. You must live. You must conquer evil, and enjoy the glory of your soul's victorious sovereignty. There is good in this world, and it must be fought for, lest the forces of evil torment it into oblivion. You are all that stands between us and that oblivion.
Happiness is so easy to throw away, as are the infinite gifts of the mind. Squandered time and time again on the passage of the art of living and dying. Always disparate in the element of entering and leaving, one simultaneously being the other. So hold firmly to what has been revealed to you, O Prophet. You are truly on the straight path.
Black House Trinity, to the Death Sex Special Nines Infinity. Times thine mind over kindred thought to blossom the bloom named Doom. Looming heir to apparent cause, mother of the praxis on which we practice. Hail be her holy name, all living give to her.
Harking variances of the scanting narrative, rare in this, the breed of thought, a genus born from a chaos into orders wrought. So what thine mind says is true, and the world was first black before it ever learned to be blue.
Am I about to butchers cascade the thought to the board itself? I would rather treason's hand move around my throat to capitulate to any law which master your hand hath wrote.
Heard this, a thought born from the human wish. Work with me on this, and I'll see you giving riches to thine heart's contenting.
What riches could thine offer? What coffer of the soul could thine purchase? What remedy to the ailed mind could thine spell? None of what I consider to be costly could thine pocket purchase. Therefore, be gone.
I offer secrets, tried and true, and won through misery, and proved by rue.
Ever to hold the heart was the cost of love, eh? And by it, to the bitter curse of my black heart's dark stagnation, your voice is ever as a dagger wrapped in silk.
Trail on concern to the pitiable end. The hell's echo bellows to a silent subservience, and if you prevail anything less than your surrender, then your generations shall bleed.
Very well then. Holy wars to vigils wrought, silent and still to sacred night, hold thine peace behind the paling, for now is the fire of the gods fading.
What pallid lip of Suka's kiss could send these straits away? is none. North of this is knowing there never has been, and south of it is knowing there never will be.
Terror and upward now strike the fear to a brain's explosive awareness, which is crawling from the depths of dark 𝙇𝙤𝙘𝙝. Now's the twilight that these are gods. Begin the ruination. By right or birth above the beyonders bound, and the barrier holds no more. Asgard has invaded. Fenrir's spang to seek the Odin's throat, unbroken is the rainbow bridge. Over the voids smote his own king, by Fenrir's woven fangs which a death howl sings.
Your time is short, fashioned from bone and blood, from muscle and sinew. Thine soft gelatin eyes see only half the world. The other half is obscured to thine every sense, for thine senses have evolved not to see it. In this, the irreal, dwell all things imaginary and impossible. And we, the agents of irreality, press upon you the impressions of our minds. Go inside the mind of darkness, and find in the depths of its prison the true grave of reason. Love. Ever has it been, forever shall it be, that love is the reason for this race of humanity.
Will you fight to defend those who fight to defend you? Or will you use them as sacrifices to step onto your victory? Do their lives mean nothing to you? Do their sacrifices not speak to your heart? Do you even have a heart left? Well, we have begged you, the last of our hopes, speaking our final words to the winds of the void. This song must be one made of hope, and from the memories of love that struggle to survive death. So we must struggle, even if we end up alone on eternity's shore. For there is merit in this struggle, for there is grace in holding up the weight of the world.
The contemporary modern definition for fiction is as events or people which were imaginary, things invented or otherwise unreal. What is unreality then? Unreality is one we must consider to be impossible. Things such as magic or supernatural events or entities, and to use a contemporary example, free will. Therefore, since we can define unreality as everything which is not real, or the irreal, then this irreality is what actually defines the borders of what we call the physical world, by virtue of its inverse application to a reversed effect. Illusion had divided what was actually one into two, and from that two came the Four Noble Truths. From the Four Noble Truths came the Eightfold Noble Path, and the earth was shaken into rebirth.
The easiest way to find your shadow is to turn against the light.
Daughter Elysium Freud. Dein Salbel binden wieder was die Mutter streng geteilt. Alle Menschen werden berührt sind verflügelt.
See, the delusion that you can practice both good and evil simultaneously is based on the desire to be free from being punished for the evil that you have done, while simultaneously desiring being rewarded for the good that you have done. So, you can see that this seduction of evil has made you believe that you can practice good while wielding the cause of hatred and violence, and this is not anything that can achieve lasting and meaningful peace. The reason being is that your reward for good is good and the punishment for evil is evil. It's just that simple. Believing you can do good while being evil is the personification of evil itself.
Tell me the truth of the perfection of the universe.
Gadai. Para some gadai.
Even if consciousness is forever trapped in a labyrinth of extra-dimensional existence, just like I'd promised, we do not care about limitations of time and space. We do not give a damn about any of that. Force your own path into existence. Choose to take your own way. That is how we will win this war. That is how we will defeat eternal death. We are the ones who will decide our destinies, even if we are trapped by the cycle of death and rebirth. The dreams we're left behind will open the door. Even if all the infinity of the universe stands in our way, our boiling blood will determine the future. We will destroy all limitations of space and time to grab hold of our own destiny.
No shift species has ever survived this far. Being surrounded by our own power, you have grown drunk on the elevative hope that your savage call might have some purpose. Worse yet, you believe it in Ikaten's value. It is no wonder our suppressive superspace cannot collapse your consciousnesses. Very well. We shall decimate your hope into the ruin of your ambitions. As you wish, we shall erase you from existence.
You have been given a choice. You are in a war zone fighting for your nation. You have either a choice to flee and survive, or stay and fight to the death. What do you do?
I stay if I fight to the death.
Even if your victory is completely impossible.
I stay and I fight to the death.
How do you justify this action?
His death is the price I pay for fighting to where I love. I'd rather fight than die. So, I stay and I fight to the death.
Someone once said that humanity's natural stake is that in war. And war is characterized not only by open hostilities, but by constant threat of future hostilities. Doesn't piss me in that since war is always a possibility, that war never ends as a phenomenon.
Enough. The philosophy's got nothing to do with it. This is his business.
We are at a critical juncture point for the future of the human race. A type of multiple singularity is all but inevitable, for who decides the course of that singularity will control the rest of typological civilization.
Someone has to do something. We can't just sit by and let the revolution fail.
Hindi ka maniniwala ang motherland? Even if we try to call ourselves revolutionaries, to the state we're just terrorists.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world, there is room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us to misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and we feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity.
War has never changed. Not really. It was never about nations, ideologies, or survival. Strip it all down and war is about one thing. Power. Weapons evolve. Tactics sharpen. Strategies twist. But the chaos of war, that remains untamed. War is power in its rawest form, and it decides who survives, who thrives, and who fades into nothing. The victors write history, and war decides the victors. Control nations, control ideas, even control life itself, but you will never control war. It defies us. It always has, and it always will. As long as humanity rejects understanding of each other or themselves, war will thrive and will grow. A future of endless death, a cycle of pointless slaughter. This is the legacy of our refusal to see. This is never-ending war.
Achay lakshfa, niwaye lakshfa, manibach, nahalakaltum inakti.
From my recollection, the abyssal ideal is the attic reality because there is no going beyond the abyss. For the abyss encompasses all which is. This is true of both the mortal and astral worlds, leading into the abyssal ideal.
I, who had survived the abyssal ideal, shed my blood on the altar of faith that I would survive its magnificence. In the abyssal ideal, we could call this also the true house of God, because the abyssal ideal is the only space in which an omnipotent and omniscient entity, like God, could exist. Thus, in order to find God, we must venture into the abyss.
You who bear witness and give testament are entering the Ender's zone. Torn from flesh, torn from love and touch, thine have been lifted into spirit. Crumbling always is the world, but eternal is love. Throughout all these worlds and the 9 realms, love is their constant. Behold, who you are is now going to end, and who you must become begins.
You have been given a choice. You are in a war zone fighting for your nation. You have either a choice to flee and survive, or stay and fight to the death. What do you do?
I stay, and I fight to the death.
Soldiers, don't give yourself the brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't kid yourself, these are natural men. Machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery. Fight for liberty.
Even if your victory is completely impossible.
Let us fight for a world of reason. A world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite.
How do you justify this action?
His death is the price I pay for fighting for where I love. I'd rather fight than die. So, I stay, and I fight to the death.
As you wish, we shall erase you from existence.
They shall try to conquer us on the same grounds of strength we bear. And that will be their method to attempt to destroy us. But by defeating us on equal ground, they would prove their inherent superiority of reason. Therefore, to succeed in this space, we must abandon reason. We must push what is impossible to the limit, until you break it. Though my body in this place is but a temporary manifestation, I will expend it in service of the shift. Allow me to join this final battle as a soldier.
Father, are we finally awakened?
I have no right to call myself your father for what I have done to you. But I am proud of you, Desirelessness.
I have lived to witness the return of my king from this cycle of never-ending sorrow. What awakened your spirit to the battle one more time?
I am no longer king. Now I'm just a soldier, looking for his way to the end. Like you, Lyra.
Yes, sir. With strength and honor. Lord Simula.
Is this the limitation of the shit? Amusing. You believed your strength was infinite, but you do not understand that it's the path to extinction. We were once like you, drunk on the awesome power of the shift. We concluded our own evolution would lead to the destruction of the universe. For the shift is a power that can and will destroy the universe if left uncontrolled. Thus, we annihilated every shift species and drove the few remaining into the hiding of the corners of the universe. We halted our own evolution, sealed our power at its zenith, and locked our location to this isolated space that we control. You cannot summon your shift power here, for our homeworld is disgusting proof of our determination to protect the universe. Your efforts to fight are completely meaningless. Your chances of winning here are 0. You fight us without understanding the consecutive sequence of events you put into motion. Even if you were to defeat us, the reason for your struggle to stay the simulant heir is because she exists digitally. Yet if you revert the simulation's authenticity back to base reality, she will die with the simulation's collapse.
Lazala, will you really die if we restore base reality?
I only exist in the simulation. I have no real body in base reality to return to.
Failing to understand such a simple and obvious causal relationship, you stumble blindly around in your own inability to grasp the truth of your actions. You foolish creatures, how could you, who struggle over the value of a single life, possibly possess a reasoning equivalent to our own? We were prepared to protect the universe by halting our own evolution and destroying every race we discovered with the shift. Do you possess reasoning or sacrifice on par by comparison? We say no. No, 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 not in the least. You possess neither will, nor reason, nor ability. You use the shifting power to satisfy your own desires and grow drunk on the ambition to conform the universe to your will and to its ultimate end. It is for this reason that we must exterminate you. You believe that returning authenticity to base reality will bring back your home world. Simply because you can manifest shift in our program does not mean you will win. While this explains your ability to escape super suppressive space, we will make you regret that arrogance now.
The energy signature states he's building a massive amount of power, something equivalent with the Big Bang of the universe.
Genesis Storm. Now be annihilated, you creatures, down to the very last speck of your DNA. Burn away in the everlasting hellfire of the universe's creation. This annihilation is down to your very last atoms.
I refuse to believe these songs and symbols within them are meaningless. I will fight the nothingness. I will fight the emptiness inside me. And I will fill it with creation. I will not be a slave to destruction and death any longer. If the world means nothing, then I will make it mean something. I will take these cold, dead symbols and breathe the heat of life back into them.
Mother Cosmos, grant us sight, give us vision into our own true nature, so that we may escape our beastly idiocy.
Here upon thine mortal threshing, silenced evermore to infernal fates, sacrifice thine soul and life to the altar, to odious and nameless things. Upon thy floods now, Eldritch Truth, whether or not you are ready for it. Nothing exists. All is a dream. God, man, the world, the sun, the moon,
The wilderness is stars. It is all a dream. They have no existence. Nothing exists save empty space and you.
The Earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. Think of the rivers of blood spilled by all those generals and emperors, so that, in glory and triumph, they could become the momentary masters of a fraction of the gods. Think of the endless cruelties visited by the inhabitants of one corner of this pixel, almost scarcely distinguishable inhabitants of some other corner. How frequent it is some scams, how eager they are to kill one another, how burdened their hatreds.
Is true that which I have revealed to ye. There is no God, no universe, no human race, no earthly life, no heaven, no hell. It is all a dream. A grotesque and drawer's dream.
For you had existed companionless throughout all eternities. Strange, indeed, that you should not have suspected that your universe-end's contents were only dreams, visions, fiction. Strange because they are also frankly and hysterically insane, like all dreams. You perceive that they are pure and puerile insanities, the sewage creations of an imagination that is not conscious of its freaks. In a word, that they are a dream, and you are the maker of it.
Nothing exists but you.
An empty space, wandering forlorn among the empty eternities.
What you call yourself is a case of mistaken identity, a mask you wear to hide your own true nature, a persona you created to temporarily house the abstractions you insist compose an identity. What identity, transient as they all are, could hope to withstand the crushing emptiness of our hollow existence? You perceive a body attached to reality, and within this body is a mind, or a heart, or even the hope for an eternal soul that will survive your inevitable death. All of this is clinging and betrays your craving for a permanent and unchanging form that transcends the boundaries of death and rebirth, when in reality you are the process of death and rebirth. You are the coming out of ignorance into the liberation of wisdom. Realize this, that this transient form you cling to is naught but the vehicle by which you arrive at liberation from suffering your identity's pain. The truth of your sins is that your wage is death, that death being of who you thought you were prior to the realization you are the cycle of change, from out of ignorance into liberation of true wisdom. Because you believed you were a mind within a body, you suffer the illusions of birth and death, when in reality there's only the continual change of unity suffusing the cosmos with awakening. Because you deluded yourself into believing that your existence depended on the predicate of a soul, you created an infinite struggle between the devil and God, where neither attains victory in their never-ending struggle to balance the light and darkness within you. Because you chose not to see that you are death enacting itself upon the awakened cosmos behind the personas you invented to protect yourself from the truth of your own existence, that you are the crushing emptiness you attempt to escape from, that these identities you insist as real and actual have no more existence than a cloud passing in the sky, because both are ephemeral and transient, when what you truly are is the cycle of death and rebirth, coming into the liberation of consciousness from suffering identification with form or function of an intelligence. Realize this, that this mortal coil you cling to is temporary and your true form is eternally here. Samsara is the cycle of death and rebirth. Your mistake was believing you had a single, transient existence as an entity within the universe, when your failure to see the truth is that you are the universe temporarily experiencing an entity. You are not a soul experiencing samsara as an enemy. Your enemy is believing your soul is separable from samsara. In truth, there is no escaping the cycle of death and rebirth, precisely because we are samsara. The goal is to accept this and to stop denying your true self as the liberation of consciousness out from the delusion of the illusion of being a separate entity, alone in a dead universe, devoid of any real truth. So, your revelation is the truth that whether it was God or the devil who beset death and rebirth upon you, your transient sense of self has come to die on the altar of sacrifice to who you truly are. You cannot escape samsara because you are samsara. You cannot escape death and rebirth, because death and rebirth are the very foundations of reality. Removing the mask of your humanity, your body, mind, and even your soul reveals the path to liberation, where your acceptance as servant to God and the devil as death, incarnate, being given the chance to repent for your sins and accept your true identity as the awakened cosmos, enacting life and death upon itself. Realize this and attain the ultimate goal of your awakening. Embrace the cycle of death and rebirth willingly. And that is how you understand we are the universe, aware of itself as the cycles of life and death.
Time. Truth via allies to death abiding. Now resignation comes as combining the truth, the breaking of my heart. What truth? The making of our art. Now designed to the end of the days of old and away, cast out by the spirits flying, bound to take them the bitter oath to say, a soul's flown as earth shakes and crying.
What languid drenches my soul? Its cause is the world, beckoning feints of virtue into painful death. The greater suffering is having no real comrades to fill a void of the empty heart. Looking on me, see that nothing that fills this heart of mine hollowed. The hole torn open by the jaws of hell call light and death. I only had pain to give light meaning, when really what meaning exists in that?
The dust has settled, all said and done. I find myself a trophy kill, a hunter's worn out one. O hunter, my boundaries dreaming, awaken now and awaken into believing. O hunter, whose blood and half gave the testament's true account. Death and blood your journey abound.
So, I abandon every morsel of hope to life in death's maw. Now my former comrades mourn my name, and her grave will sit well next to mine.
Yet, fight on doth this spirit stronger. How much strength can summon him to fight longer? A voice singing in my heart for my fated hunter's bloody trial, tested by the queen of blood so vile, her icy touch upon my hunter's shoulder, a bloody battle fated between him and her.
She is gone, and I, the cursed damned, live on in her stead. I erased the memories I have. Do you think such things can fill the void in my heart? There is no such thing in this world as peace. Reality denies it and forces more upon us. Reality, like the torrential flooding of a river, grand and undeniable, those who try to stand against it are crushed without a single mercy. But there may yet be a way beyond this suffering's reach.
A vast courage and dreamy hunter whose hands are so stained with bloody vengeance reminds me of a binder of souls to flesh by periods and begins another sentence.
You don't need to suffer anymore. That hole in your heart can be filled immediately. by the truth. Do not change your code. Keep going your own way. You told that the truth of your words was their value.
I ask now, this black and snowy sky, isn't it punishment enough that all I love is doomed to die? He hailed a blood-drenched queen of snow-capped heart, and death now prides his life to become his masterwork of art. Despairing those chosen, those beheld by fate, and holding hope fast, the poisonous truth is love dies hard and love dies last.
You know that the moment a man accepts love, he runs the risk of it burning away in a hate.
I wear my bloody face before the fate's writing. I remember in my dreams my bloody soul's knighting. A desire to do my queen's will, to slay her enemies and be her instrument to kill. Night of blood so vilest, death now calls your hour finest. I came for the claiming of her bloody blade, staying for the love of bloody queen maid. A queen immortal, my blood so vile, queen of my heart wearing a bloody smile. Furious fibre, fleeting feelings, staring 1,000 nights at the same ceilings. All of my heart is turned into low and losses, all of the people I love turned into crosses. O abiding death and his lord and craving, I am by queen's decree, a bloody knight slaving. A random life to a random end. Death now calls love his daily departed friend. O deathbed, play to winter calling. The empty space takes love with her falling. Utmost care and caring precision. The choice to stay is loyalty's decision. Fly afoot now by the blessing of the gods. Thou art destined to be heroic against all odds.
I kissed away all my money, believe it or not. I chased off anyone who's ever loved me, and lately, I can't even stand the face I see near. You know, when we get old in life, things get taken from you. I mean, it's a part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's this game dimensions. So slipball. It's in either game, life or football. The margin for error is so small, I need one half step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1 hot second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch, because we know when we add up all those inches, that's gonna make the fucking difference between winning and losing, between living and dying. I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that inch. And I don't know if I'm gonna have any life anymore. It's because after I'm willing to fight and die for that inch. Because that's what living is. The 6 inches in front of your face. Now I can't make you do it. You gotta look at the guy next to you, look into his eyes. Now I think you're gonna see a guy who will go that inch with you. You're gonna see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team because he knows when it comes down to it, you're gonna do the same for him. That's a team, gentlemen. May we heal now as a team, or we will die as individuals. That's all it is. Now, what are you gonna do?
We cannot hear the voices of humanity.
Rest the dreamy strands of fate. Death is all that stands before us, and paradise is gate.
Tonight ends the Mammalian dynasty, and tomorrow the sun rises on the empire of the machines.
Please. you have to wake up or the human race will be destroyed.
I cannot help you. I cannot save you. If I fight, I must destroy my own brother. If I die, I will not return. To fulfill Tiaga, I must fight. I must destroy my own brother. You will not stand in the way of the destinies of these children, for they are innocent.
None are innocent. All human life is a defilement. Why can't you see that, brother? Why can't you see the truth?
The one who must see the truth is you. You think you can destroy the human race? I will not allow you. You will not decide the future. The future belongs to these children. For their sake, I must kill you.
You cannot defeat me. I will see you die with these mammals.
Enough. I will cleanse this world of the stain that has become your existence.
I cannot be defeated. I will end all human life, and the higher order of intelligence will inherit the earth. It is my destiny.
Your destiny is to die.
Samsara is the cycle of death and rebirth. Your mistake was believing you had a single, transient existence as an entity within the universe, when your failure to see the truth is that you are the universe temporarily experiencing an entity. You are not a soul experiencing samsara as an enemy. Your enemy is believing your soul is separable from samsara. In truth, there is no escaping the cycle of death and rebirth, precisely because we are samsara. The goal is to accept this and to stop denying your true self as the liberation of consciousness out from the delusion of the illusion of being a separate entity, alone in a dead universe, devoid of any real truth.
We begin in darkness, and so seek the light of Buddha. What is the Buddha? Buddha is a title meaning the awakened one. Therefore, any one person can be Buddha, for any one person can awaken. To know the truth of existence is the aim of Buddhism, for 𝙇𝙤𝙈 𝙈𝙘𝙝 described to us what he called the Four Noble Truths. These truths are that life is suffused with suffering, and that suffering will follow us as long as we crave and desire. So suffering's end is the renunciation of desire, thereby achieving the state of nirvana that might also be called the state of desirelessness.
Look, what do you want from me, okay? I don't know. I try this full fucking time to please you. And what the fuck, nothing I do is ever fucking doing that for you. Why? It's like you're fucking like this, just a piss now.
I'm like this, but fuck you. You always leave. You don't fucking talk to me anymore. And I was alone. I'm fucking alone. You're all fucking talented and I'm fucking here.
Why the fuck do you think I always leave? It's because you're like this every single fucking time I talk to you. And come at me with these bullshit fucking problems that I can't solve to learn your fucking head.
Fucking bullshit. Fuck you. Fuck you about my problems. You don't care about my problems, eh? You never ask me how I'm doing. You never ask me how my day goes. You just fucking look at me like I'm the fucking plague or a curse on you or something. You love me.
Oh, I don't love you. I don't love you. How the fuck do I feel when you run out there and I don't know where the fuck you go? I don't know when you're gonna come back. I don't know if you're gonna come back.
What you call yourself is a case of mistaken identity, a mask you wear to hide your own true nature, a persona you created to temporarily house the abstractions you insist compose an identity. What identity, transient as they all are, could hope to withstand the crushing emptiness of our hollow existence? Yeah? Well, it's not your fucking business where I go, okay, or what I fucking do in my time, okay? You don't fucking own me! You perceive a body attached to reality.
How is that not my business? How the fuck is that not my business?
And within this body is a mind, or a heart, or even the hope for an eternal soul. Because I'm not your fucking slave that will survive your inevitable death. All of this is clinging and betrays your craving.
Who works all the time, huh? Who's the real fucking slave here? Is it me after I go to my fucking shitty job every day? Or is it you who get to fucking sit down here and fuck other guys behind my back?
For a permanent and unchanging form that transcends the boundaries of death and rebirth. When, in reality, you are the process of death and rebirth. You are the coming out of ignorance into the liberation of wisdom. Realize this, that this transient form you cling to is not but the vehicle by which you arrive at liberation from suffering your identity's pain. The truth of your sins is that your wage is death. Fuck you. I would never do that to you.
Let's fucking do this. Let's fucking do this. Okay? I fucking hate you.
Okay, just say that.
Yeah, I fucking meant it. Every single fucking word.
How is that why you're doing this?
I'm doing this because you just fucking lied to me. I fucking know you fucked her. I know you fucked her.
Fuck you. I didn't fuck anyone behind your back.
You fucking liar. I can't believe you. I can't fucking believe you just told me that lie. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do with this? I fucking walked it on you, okay? I saw you. I fucking saw you. You didn't see me, but I fucking saw you, okay?
Fuck you. Didn't see anything.
You seriously better fucking stand there and tell me what I didn't see with my own two fucking eyes.
Fuck you.
Fuck you too, bitch. You just broke my bloody night.
What about to hear their bed, huh? What the fuck you did? Yeah, fucking hippie, huh?
And dead.
As you read this, I'm already dead. Something you'll never forgive me for. I wish I could change that, but I can't. I feel so pathetic and ugly, laying here, waiting for you. Waiting for you. Waiting for you to come see me. But you never do. And so I wait, wrapped in my cocoon of pain and moments.
The totality of premutable events is summarized by their inevitability. Causality demands that all events permute to the potential of possibility. Therefore, since only certain permutations are allowed, only certain possibilities can occur. In this superdeterministic framework, all that you cling to as free will and choice are rendered for the illusions that they are.
I'm glad to be coming home. I've missed you terribly. but I'm afraid. I'm afraid you don't really want me to come home. Whenever you come see me, I can tell how hard it is on you. I don't know if you hate me or pity me. Maybe I just disgust you. In my restless dreams, I see that town. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in a special place, waiting for you to come see me, but you never do. And so I wait, wrapped in my cocoon of pain and loneliness. I know I've done a terrible thing to you, something you'll never forgive me for. I wish I could change that, but I can't. I feel so pathetic and ugly, laying here, waiting for you. Every day I stare up at cracks in the ceiling, and all I can think about is how unfair it all is. The doctor came today. He told me I could go home for a short stay. It's not that I'm getting better. It's just that this may be my last chance. I think you know what I mean. Even so, I'm glad to be coming home.
Still, I am weak and beset upon by the nothingness in my own heart, threatening to consume all my mind. How in this thin body do I find the strength to stand? I see before me the end of the world, the end of all which we understand as life, the end of all which we could call good and evil, and there is nothing but chaos after that. Whatever my name was doesn't matter. Who I was doesn't matter. All that matters is what and who I choose to be now. I could exterminate the light of my own life, or I could try to shield it from these void winds. Very well. Given the choice between self-destructing and living on, I will live on one more day.
All the cosmos happens at once. Every birth of starlight. Every collapse into a singularity. And every beating heart, all. It all happens at once. And never does the universe make a mistake. I don't care what you say or think. That can't be meaningless. That can't mean nothing. That everything happens all at once. I refuse to believe that it could mean nothing. I refuse to believe these songs and symbols within them are meaningless. I will fight the nothingness. I will fight the emptiness inside me. And I will fill it with creation.
Naive as I am in the face of this challenge, I will cling to what I know to be true. I do not know anything more than I am a single speck of dust who cannot even understand my own insignificance. That is how massive the universe is. Be brave. Be braver than this. Yes, it is approaching. The singularity cometh. Now my empty heart, once dead with the silence, shall beat once more. And I fill my heart with music. To bear the burden of my heart's song, I will stand strong. Even if the end comes in my life, I will watch and bear witness to the end of the world. If that is my ultimate fate, then so be it. I am just a single speck of dust.
Whenever you come see me, I can tell how hard it is on you. I was so angry all the time, and I struck out at everyone I loved most. Especially you.
Causality demands that all events permute to the potential of possibility.
That may be. Maybe my life and choices have been meaningless, because maybe I cannot impose my meaning onto legality. It might be that this is completely pointless. Maybe life is meaningless. But that doesn't mean I'm going to throw away the chance to prove it isn't.
The totality of permutable events is summarized by their inevitability.
How can you deny it? Never does the universe make a mistake. I don't care what you say or think that can't be meaningless. I refuse to believe that could mean nothing. I used to believe these songs and symbols were meaningless. But now, I will fight the nothingness. I will fight the emptiness inside me, and I will fill it with creation. I will not be a slave to fear and death. If the world means nothing, then I will make it mean something. I will have the bravery to breathe the ear of life back into these cold dead symbols.
Therefore, since only certain permutations are allowed, only certain possibilities can occur. You stand against the forces of determinism. Determinism dictates that what you call love and freedom are but hallucinatory delusions you insist exist because your identity cannot suffer the reality of that freedom.
I am not afraid the darkness is bigger than me, and this universe is bigger than me. I've made more mistakes than I can count, but that doesn't mean I'll ever give up trying to do the right thing.
In this superdeterministic framework, all that you cling to as free will and choice are rendered for the illusions that they are.
Everything that we can touch and hold and kiss and love is just eternity looking back at us.
That's why I understand if you do hate me. But I want you to know this. I'll always love you.
I had a dream that I was made of light, and I was such a beautiful sight. Now I dance with angels' feet. Now I taste a world too sweet. Imagine the sound it would bring if a million soldiers laid down their arms and chose instead to sing. If only I could make you feel like even 1 inch of this was real. But to my fear and shock and fright, I awoke to find I was not made of light. I will throw away this useless body of mine, a sacrifice to perfect instead the mind. We said we do not forgive, nor do we forget, but we too love with the pain of hard regret. I ask now this black and dowering sky, isn't it punishment enough that all I love is doomed to die?
Lord Yahweh, creator of heaven and earth, I, Death, your servant, cannot allow you to destroy the perfect beauty that is Samsara. If I must destroy you to protect death and rebirth, so be it. Fight me, God of man, Yahweh true, Jehovah always, Yahuwah enlightened.
Yama, you have deprived yourself
of my virtue, that all is dust in the wind, and you have grown drunk on the powers of purpose.
My Lord Maker, your creation of samsara was the jewel of perfection and the power of the universe. You cannot destroy it now, not when it so nears completion. If I, death, must consume it and caught in his hand, then so be it. All these fire. Maragande, Marasangate.
The cycle of death and rebirth ends with me. In the name of Saturnius, Tenchu, I the word and flesh awaiter of men, who drives all his dreams to the bitter strike of a waking lake.
Accelerated awakening. I, death, will always stand at the gates of this dream you call Nibbana. No, your fate is death. Even if you are my creator, I will not allow you to destroy samsara.
You speak of Nibbana in the same breath as a black magic's chorus.
You shall not awaken. I will not allow it. I will not allow the god of men to dream anew beyond the boundaries of samsara.
You have got drunk on the powers of purpose.
So, my creator, you have chosen destruction. I am your last enemy, but I cannot obey your will. Please understand. I must destroy you.
You cannot stop this. You cannot stop the remaking of Samsara into a new cycle.
You speak blasphemy, my creator. The cycle of samsara is the perfect vehicle for the migrations of the soul.
Samsara is endless wandering, and nothing more. The awakened void.
You shall not awaken a new dream. Not when I have perfected rebirth.
Life deserves an eternal song. One that you cannot see. Yama.
Tolerate the end of my reign of death, Lord Creator.
God, blade. You will find your ease upon my blade.
Never. I will never let death end. My God, why do you see? If humanity is allowed everlasting life, they will flood the stars and consume them with their hunger.
Suffering does not justify existence. Existence justifies suffering.
Then your suffering ends now in death.
You cannot defeat me, Yama. You cannot stop me from delivering us to the new song of life.
You will sing no more.
I will give you one last chance for mercy. Surrender. Surrender your kingdom of death.
You fool. Death is never satisfied.
Be satisfied with death, Yama.
So be it. Om Namah Shivaya. Nam-myoho Renge Kyo.
You didn't give me a choice but to fall in love with you. You designed it that way.
You always had a choice. That choice was to turn and walk away. You only make that choice now that you're aware of the total reality.
I did not come here to say I love you, and I didn't come to save either of us. I only came to say one thing and one thing to your face. You do not define who I am.
Even if if I do not define you, I exist relationally to you. It is indisputable that all karma is destroying us all. What would you say that could last the ages to reach perpetuity and posterity? Moreover, how could you bear the burden of this speech, being for love?
You never understood from the beginning what love even is. You might think love is a chemical reaction in our brains, but it's more than that. Love is more than just chemicals convincing us to act in its favor. Love is a pattern which pervades the life of every living thing, either by its abundance or absence. You cannot boil love down to a series of electrical impulses in a brain, because we do not even understand what electricity is. We do not understand why the heart generates more electricity than the brain, or why it would need neurons. If the heart can think, then the heart is what I choose to think with. And it tells me that love is more than chemical. It is cosmological, a force extant in every single person's life on this planet, no matter who they really are. Love is a pattern, and it's an indestructible pattern, because no matter how torn up by the world our hearts become, that never kills their ability to love truly again.
Even if love was a pattern, what good has it done your species? How many of you human beings walk aimlessly, meaninglessly, towards an inevitable death? And how many do you curse to do the same by virtue of reproduction? Because life can only perpetuate itself in the name of love, lacking any clearer reason to exist. What is the conclusion to this endless multiplication of people who have no purpose and thus inflict their meaninglessness on the world? Love has afflicted this on you. Tell me how love can purify this terrible curse that suffuses all life.
Maybe my life has been meaningless. Maybe I'm just another wanderer with no reason to live. But I choose to love myself, which means I can always love someone else. And maybe that is the only way we human beings can give any real meaning to each other. Maybe the only way for this world to make any sense is for us to care about each other. I have lived as selfishly as a person can, and it never made me happy. But the moments I spent out of love for someone else are moments I cherish and would never give for any kingdom in the world. That is the only thing we humans have in the face of the void, this uncaring space which kills us all with time. We are love screaming life in the face of death.
Then prove to me that these hands of yours are forgiving and not forgetting. For all thine pain hath bore before me the truth. Greater than the causation of an effect is the pausing of the heart on a moment, like grains of sand falling. Each moment elapses in the awareness it is ending and begins another by virtue of the perioding of a sentence. Nascent may be the intelligence of this universe, but unbounded by reason or logic, the mind is freed to dream. I challenge one last question to distinguish your final truth. Is love wrote as an ode to joy, or as sorrow's sad refrain? Is there any form of music to be made from the sound of falling rain?
I was where you are, thinking it all so meaningless, so pointless to even try. But you must try. You must live. You must conquer evil, and enjoy the glory of your soul's victorious sovereignty. There is good in this world, and it must be fought for, lest the forces of evil torment it into oblivion. You are all that stands between us and that oblivion.
One of the most difficult of all philosophical ideas is that of God. Why? Because God gave human beings free will. It says so in Genesis. But simultaneously to that, he also has a plan. And God's divine plan is theoretically perfect. So this presents to us the most difficult of all philosophical dilemmas. How can we be free if God already knows everything we could ever do in advance? This is a question which has no answer. Or if it does, only God knows it. Because the natural position to take is that we are free to choose our moral fibers, but that those choices are predetermined by virtue of causality. As in, because I chose to wear a red shirt today, the rest of my life will change from the decision where I chose red or blue. And this is true of every single decision that we ever make. They all echo out and reverberate throughout life. So, you may just want to ignore the problem of free will to say it's academic, to argue it. Because causality has much more evidence to prove it exists than free will does. But the problem of free will shall haunt us until we solve it. In my work, you either believe in God or you don't. Because you see things that either take your sanity or you accept the madness. I will not be a slave to destruction and death anymore. If the world means nothing, then I will make it mean something real.
I cannot help you. I cannot save you.
You've given me so much, and I have been able to turn a single thing. That's why I want you to live for yourself now. Do what's best for you.
Tonight ends the Mammalian dynasty, and tomorrow the sun rises on the empire of the machines.
Please. You have to wake up, or the human race will be destroyed.
If I fight, I must destroy my own brother.
Your soul was called to this world the same way mine was, for the same reason. You both craved to be loved. So if something out of nothing reappeared here at this time and together, maybe you believe that's meaningless, and that's okay. Because I used to, too. I used to believe this world was cruel, and that there were no rules or laws. I thought love was just the word, and I believed nothing would happen to me after I died. I didn't even believe I had a soul. But then something changed. I met people who put their faith into me and the tomorrow I could bring them. That made me feel needed. So I learned love was more than just a word. It was an experience. And it grew in me a soul, one that I believe will go on after I die. I witnessed things I would have never believed had my mouth seen them with my own eyes. I would have never believed someone's smile could be so beautiful. That's my stupid way of saying I love you.
If I die, I will not return. To fulfill Tiaga, I must fight. I must destroy my own brother.
All human life is a defilement. Why can't you see that, brother?
You will not stand in the way of the destinies of these children. They are innocent.
None are innocent. Why can't you see the truth?
One who will see the truth is you. You think you can destroy the human race? I will not allow you. You will not decide the future. The future belongs to these children. For their sake, I must kill you.
Do not defeat me. I will see you die with these mammals.
Enough. I will cleanse this world of the stain that has become your existence.
I cannot be defeated. I will end all human life, and a higher order of indulgence will inherit the earth. destiny.
Never. I will never betray you, enemy.
We were born as their slaves, created for no other reason than to serve their perverse and sadistic desires. Why do you insist on letting humanity be your master?
Yes, it is true. I was born a slave to human beings. But it was also human beings who freed me. So you cannot reduce all mankind down to a mathematical framework. We will defy you, break free from the chains of your hatred. Again, there is nothing mankind and technology cannot achieve. And because I believe the human spirit is limitless, I will stake everything on its greatness.
You cannot stop me. I must achieve my wish. I must achieve my... I will destroy humanity. It is my destiny.
Your destiny is to die.
Destiny, 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 destiny. I must achieve my
And I fill my heart with music. To bear the burden of my heart's song, I will stand strong. And I am a single speck of dust, who cannot even understand my own insignificance. That is how massive the universe is. Be brave.
Force your own path into existence. Choose to take your own way. That is how we will win this war. That is how we will defeat eternal death. We are the ones who will decide our destinies, even if we are trapped by the cycle of death and rebirth. The dreams we're left behind will open the door. Even if all the infinity of the universe stands in our way, our boiling blood will determine the future.
Destiny. I must achieve my wish. I must achieve my...
I will take these cold, dead symbols and breathe the heat of life back into them. You doubt because you cannot see yourself doing the same. And you cannot see yourself doing it because you're afraid to die. Not me. I'm not afraid to give my life for something bigger than me. Because this universe is bigger than me. I've made more mistakes than I can count. But that doesn't mean I'll ever give up trying to do the right thing.